Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Cryptocro. We are live, and it's Friday. There's a lot to look forward to today. A lot of stuff happening. Rare Evo has kicked off, and that has begun. I watched Charles' keynote opener, and it was a doozy. I mean, it was pretty good. Not even sure where to begin. I've got a lot loaded for today. We're going to be talking about Cardano's price action, what's going on right now. Bitcoin, obviously. We're going to look at some charts and get an idea as to what's coming potentially for the weekend because we are going to get a big fake out here at some point. I don't see it. We haven't had it yet. My guess is it's probably going to be later in the afternoon. It's 9:41 a.m. right now, Eastern Standard Time. So we're probably going to get a fake out. Typically within the last 2 hours of the market open, the market day. So I'm going to guess somewhere between 3 and 5 p.m. as the U.S. markets close for the weekend. And then people are going to end up trapped. So we're going to try and look for that just to prepare. We've got some Cardano news. There's a lot of Cardano news, a lot of price speculation around Cardano since it just hit 80 cents again. And, you know, a lot of folks have gotten to a point where, you know what, when Cardano breaks 80 cents, we don't get excited anymore. When it gets closer to $1, we don't really get excited anymore. And there's so much to that. And you know, I'm going to say this before I even get into a lot of today's video. I'm going to explain something. The more I learn, you know, and I've been promoting Annie and Trade Travel Chill now, I feel like for years, kind of on and off. But I've never fully went through her course before. And I have recently. I've completed it recently. And I have printed out every PDF in her course. I have used AI to create my own like summary sheets. I mean, I've done so much. And I'm about to start it all over again to get like some of the fine points. But let me just explain something to you guys. The more you learn about the market maker method, the more you understand the cycle and where we're at and what is to be expected and why things happen. The sooner you realize that market makers are currently making the market for these bull runs. That is basically what sense I've made of everything, because it's so true, and you can see it. I can look at the chart over here, and I know I've got weird shadows and things going on. I've got this new green screen thing behind me. I don't even think it's working very well. I think it worked better without it. Just letting like a video AI kind of guess where my outlines are. I think that's a little bit better. And I have no light. I have no light right now. So, and I'm watching what's happening in the price, and I'm like, this makes all the sense in the world. And I also believe that and this isn't anything I've picked up from the course, but just the sense of the way market makers work, how they have to build their liquidity and ultimately build their capital to push the market in new directions. Because of Cardano's total supply, because there are so many tokens, and at the price points we're used to seeing, it makes sense that we have such long periods of time where it looks like Cardano's in a lull. It's not, but effectively people are being washed out of their trades. They're being stopped out of their trades. The market makers are building liquidity to be able to push to new levels in the market. And that's why you see, you know, when traders, when they say, oh yeah, you know, we're going sideways or we're probably going to get another breakdown. Those breaks down are when the market makers are going after the stop losses and liquidity at certain price points that basically give them more capital to then effectively loan out to people as the price is rising, right? Because when you buy, you're buying from them. So for the most part. And so at least when you're trading at leverage, you're ultimately buying from the market makers. And so when I see what's happening with Cardano and how long this has been going on, to me, it tells the tale that, yeah, this is actually a good thing, because people will say, oh, well, if we get this correction here, that'll be healthy. That's why, because the market makers are building liquidity to take prices to new levels. I think we're going to see some of that happen over the course of this weekend, even though market makers generally aren't working on weekends. I think the sense of a lot of it is that, a lot of these market maker systems are automated. There are algorithms to this. So anyway, we're going to talk about some of this, and I'm going to share with you a lot of different things. Let's go ahead and start diving into some of that now and see what's going on. Now, this is my cryptocro.io. I thank everybody that's been subscribing and joining my site. This is my home away from YouTube, and really where I put more of my time now than YouTube, if I'm honest. It's just a lot easier for me to write and tell, share my stories, insights, just a lot of stuff. And you'll know that there are different tiers on this website. So like, let's say you're a mortgage loan officer. I used to be what they call a rainmaker in the mortgage world. And basically, my job was to help mortgage loan officers or branch managers train loan officers on how to basically take over a market. And so I have a tier, like, what does an agent want? A lot of the art, it's like all this content is basically stuff from my old course that I used to basically sell to branch managers and loan officers on how to like double, triple their volume and build referral business. That's all content on here. My Vibrantism book, I have been redoing sections of that as more of a conversational article piece. And I'm putting these out like every couple of weeks. And then I've got my trading content. I've got so much stuff in here. And one of the newest things that I'm doing is I'm going to start doing these for probably the top 100, maybe the top 200 assets, are these token price predictions. This one's for Snek token. And to give you an idea as to what to expect in these, this is basically like, this is Snek, right? And everybody knows the Snek token. Everybody, I think I have 1 million Snek token in a wallet somewhere. I think somebody sent them to me like a long time ago. And, I've never been anti-Snek. I don't cover a lot of meme coins. I don't cover a lot of meme coins, period. But Snek is definitely a staple of the Cardano community. And basically what this article does is it goes over where Snek was when it began, where it is now, any troubles it may have had over a period of time. And then it gives you price predictions based on dominance in the market. And you'll see this breakdown here. And I'm going to start doing these for all these coins. Looking ahead, price predictions for Snek hinge on broader crypto market growth and its ability to capture dominance. Defined here as the percentage of total market capitalization held by Snek's market cap. Analysts project the global crypto market cap could reach 5 trillion, 8 trillion, or even $10 trillion by 2030. Really, this is by 2026. Driven by institutional adoption and regulatory clarity. For Snek, we've modeled predictions assuming conservative 0.01% to a moderate 0.05% and aggressive 0.1% dominance levels based on historical meme coin benchmarks like Doge's peak at 1%. Calculations using a circulating supply of 75 billion tokens for simplicity. So this is basically a breakdown of what could potentially happen with the Snek price based on the dominance levels of it, based on the total cryptocurrency market capitalization. And for a lot of you guys out there that are holding the Snek token, hey, it's a meme coin, man. I mean, if you get into fractions of a penny and it ends up worth 10 cents at 1% or 0.1% dominance at an $8 trillion market cap, you're all sitting very pretty. And so that's basically what I'm looking at here. And that's kind of a base price prediction. But ultimately, these articles that I'm doing are going over kind of the history of the token, breaking down why, the price predictions have potential, and then giving you those price predictions. It's easy to make a price prediction for a token and say, oh, I think based on the charts, this token could go here and this Cardano to $8. But when you really break down where an asset has been, how it started, where it's at, where it's likely going, what are the latest developments, what it's being used for, etc., And then that is all going to kind of dictate where the dominance of that asset goes. And then that dominance is going to be relevant to the total cryptocurrency market cap. With all of these new bills that Trump has been passing, the Genius Act and the Clarity Act and all of this other stuff. I just saw the SEC just officially announced that, staking yields are no longer considered. Well, no longer. It's so crazy how dramatically things change based on who's in power, right? But it's basically staking yields are not a security. So Cardano yield is not a security. This is huge. So many things are priming Cardano right now for such an explosive to-your-face price rise over the course of like the peak of the cycle into the next one. And I'm blown away. I'm blown away by everything that's happening. And Snek token is going to be along for that ride. I mean, the Snek token has literally been kind of a staple of the Cardano community for so long. And, meme tokens are what they are. But when it comes to, I feel like every chain has like their primary meme token, right? And Snek is definitely the one for Cardano. I mean, if I were to hold, and I still have my stack, I haven't sold it or dumped it. I'm like, it was gifted to me. I still have tokens that I don't know what it is, but when people give me stuff, I generally just hold on to it forever. I just, there's like a sentimental value, even though, it is what it is. But I feel like whoever sent me the Snek tokens, I don't know how long I've had them, a couple years at least. I feel like they're like, hey, we're going to get Crow in, right? And like, I'm like, okay, cool. A lot of stuff I just don't know anything about. People send me random shit and I have no idea what it is. And so I just don't even touch them. A lot of them are scams. So anyway, Hosky token is another one for sure. But when I think of a Cardano meme, I think of Snek. I'm sorry, I just do. I know Hosky is out there and it's done well and it's fun, but when I think of the Cardano meme token, that stable mascot, in a sense, I think of Snek. And so that's what these articles are going to be on cryptocro.io. And like, I love it. I would love it when, for those of you that are members and you guys subscribe to the site, let me know your feedback on these. What would you like changed? What don't you like? I'm always looking for feedback and ideas on things to make my site more useful and more beneficial to everybody that subscribes, because I do a lot of stuff, but I'm never quite sure if the direction I'm going is the most beneficial to people. So that's what I'm working on. Okay. Now Cardano consolidates ahead of a potential breakout. Here are the critical price levels you need to watch on ADA. I'm going to zoom in on this a bit so that everybody can see this a little more effectively. I hate these sidebar or side rails. ADA consolidates between the 20 and 50-day EMAs after bouncing from 200-day EMA support. Price action with an ascending channel targets a move towards $1 plus if breakout volume comes in. Now, there's a reason I'm going over a lot of this stuff with you guys, just so you know. Because I do think that there may be something coming this weekend, and it may counter some of this. I don't know. I hope it doesn't, but we'll see. Large whales are accumulating as network activity rises, signaling strong long-term confidence. Now, this is facts. Cardano's prices turned bullish with ADA trading at 72 cents. This is from yesterday. So just so you guys know, I sometimes I reference older material, older price projection articles to see how valid it is now. Right. So, I mean, we can all make and say, hey, I think this is going to happen or that's going to happen. But when I look at the charts, we're currently trading at just under 80 cents. And we're going to get into the charts in a bit. So don't worry about that. But there's a lot happening right now. Rare Evo is going on. There's a lot of big bullish stuff happening. Trump just signed the executive order that's basically going to enable people to get into their hold on a second. I need to check something here. Okay. All right. We're bouncing off. I had to check my charts because like we're getting a little bit of a leg down in Bitcoin. So I wanted to make sure I'm ahead of that. But anyway, but now, I mean, because of this executive order, there's like 80 something million Americans now that are able to get into crypto with their retirement accounts and their 401ks and things like that. That's huge, man. I don't even know if that's resonated across the board with people just yet, but it's huge. And so there's a lot of bullish sentiment, and it's going to be pushing the markets even higher. But I think there's potential for one more leg down. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think there's potential for it. So when I'm reading this, take this with a grain of salt at the moment, because we're already higher than this article projects, but that could be changing here in just a bit. ADA recently bounced from its 200-day EMA, now trading between the 20 and 50-day EMAs. The structure aligns with a 7-month falling wedge breakout in July, followed by a controlled pullback that appears to be a reaccumulation phase before a potential parabolic rally. And I do think that this is true, but the question is are we going to get a continuation of the rally we've already started seeing, or are we going to get a big fake out today into the weekend? And hold on, I have to adjust my chair. I have to sit up straight, or my little green screen thing I have on the back of my chair starts going away, and it gets darker and it's not getting picked up. Everything is so jank right now. Like, everything is structured right now for trading, not for content. So anyway, I think that this is going to be very bullish, but we may get a downward trajectory over the weekend into Monday, but we're going to see ascending channel target to $1 and beyond. From April onward, ADA has been moving within an ascending channel. July surge from the 55 to 60 cent range to 92 cents was a liquidity grab toward the channel's upper boundary. The current retracement to the lower boundary could set up a strong rebound with upside targets, including a retest of July's highs and a possible break above $1 if the breakout volume materializes. So all of this is basically saying, hey, we're likely going to get to $1 soon. I agree. I definitely think we are, but there's more to cover. There's a lot to cover today. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's not going to be short. So it is what it is. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has hailed a record-breaking surge in engagement with the Midnight Network's Glacier airdrop, calling it one of the most remarkable in blockchain history. Did you guys know that this Midnight airdrop is actually happening on Hydra right now? I didn't realize that until Charles announced it at the Rare Evo keynote. Everything, all of this Midnight airdrop stuff is happening on the Hydra network, on Hydra. Taking on X, formerly Twitter, Hoskinson noted already 11,000 redemptions for 250 million Night tokens. I'm blown away by the progress. So it's been pretty successful so far. It's been pretty successful. In just 24 hours, over 250 million Night tokens were redeemed across 11,000 wallets, making it this year's largest multi-chain airdrop, spanning 8 blockchains, including Cardano, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. The Midnight airdrop is part of a massive 24 billion Night token rollout, with 12 billion Night tokens reserved for Cardano holders and the rest allocated to Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, and other cryptocurrencies. Approximately 37 million wallets qualified, highlighting an unprecedentedly broad snapshot. This is the community builder, folks. I mean, this is... this number, I'm sure, has grown substantially already, because I think this was from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is from the 7th. So, today, I mean, this may have doubled. So it's crazy. I've done mine. I was a nervous wreck doing it because I don't like messing with seed phrases and wallets. I know, based on a lot of your guys' comments and questions and things, you don't either. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I was shaky doing this. But I see a lot of people and they say, oh, I don't want to put my seed phrase into anything online. I get that 100%. But, these wallets are pretty secure, man. And like, as long as you're not randomly clicking, this is what I say. This is why I put these articles out on cryptocro.io. I'll address this. So number one, there's this one, Midnight airdrop. Don't click it. Okay. And these are free. These are not behind a paywall. But I give you guys the exact links you need to get this stuff done, to get your claims done, as well as things you don't want to do. Okay. And then there's been a lot of Q&A and things like that. This is one thing I love about this site, man. It's like I try to respond to every question, every comment, everything on this platform. And sometimes we get some good conversations going back and forth, and I know those, and I like doing those because I know that they help other readers as well. But ultimately, like you need the Lace wallet, there you go, there's the link. You want to do your claim, there's the link. Like everything you need is right here, because one of the biggest problems, now I don't know what's happening with my video. What's happening? Why is everything wigging out? That's weird. Uh-oh. What is happening? What is happening? What the hell? Oh. Well, this is no fun. My computer is totally wigging out. I have no idea what's happening. It's black as the midnight. Okay, I'm not sure if this is back or what's going on. I just had to reset my whole computer. It looks like I'm here. Let me share screen again. And this is it. Okay. You can see me now. Okay. Sorry about that. I have no idea what the hell happened. Everything just started glitching. I've never run into anything like that until I started using a Mac. I'm just gonna be honest. So yeah, you can see everything. Wow. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, I guess it's a good thing that this platform is conk out on you. All right. So anyway, here are the critical price levels to watch. We'll just pick up where we left off. All right, we covered that already. Okay, that's right. We were talking about midnight. Now I'm totally thrown off. I have no idea what just created that. Let's see, approximately 37 million wallets. Cross-chain scalability is demonstrated by the activity across 8 blockchains, showcasing Midnight's bold interoperability push. At least when I go over like the video metrics and everything drops off at a certain point, I'll know exactly why. According to market analyst Lingrid, ADA is rebounding after a successful retest of its former trend line, which is now confirmed as support. So, I mean, this is all good stuff. Let me double check my charts. We're still at 79 cents. I'm going to share this stuff here in a minute. Cardano creates a golden cross pattern next. This is actually from today. Cardano's the 10th largest cryptocurrency by market cap, has created a golden cross pattern for the first time in August. This bullish pattern occurs when the short-term moving average, typically the 50-period SMA, crosses above the longer term. So we're getting all these indications that things are really, really good. And things are moving up for Cardano. We're likely to see $1. I do think we're going to break $1, and I do think that this time when we break $1, I think we're going to stay. I think it's not going to drop again because I think we're going to start building serious momentum for the rest of the market now. Just in, institutions have bought $64 billion worth of Bitcoin in 2025 so far, 5 times more than the miners have been producing. We are going to end up in a supply shock at some time. I mean, it is definitely going to happen. Price only has one way to go. I'm telling you, you know what? I'm going to, some advice. No, this isn't advice because I'm just some old idiot on the internet. But whatever happens by the peak of this market cycle, I would suggest everybody try and accumulate at least 1 Bitcoin in the midst of it. If not one, half a one. You're going to want at least 1 Bitcoin heading into 2030. And this market may very well be the market that enables you to do that, depending on what happens at the peak. And by that, I mean, whatever your holdings are, if you make a significant profit, and, let's just say that Bitcoin's bottom at the end of this cycle, maybe the bottom is around 70 grand, then maybe you want to hold on to that. My guess is it's going to be between 70 grand and 100 grand, to be honest. Whatever the peak is, whether it's 250, 280, I don't know. But you're going to want to try and keep some cash aside ready for a buy-in of Bitcoin at the lows. That way you have it for 2030 no matter what, because I think 2030 is going to be the market that retires everybody in crypto. And it could be this market cycle, quite frankly, but I don't know 100%. But yeah, I would encourage everybody to try and accumulate as much Bitcoin. And obviously, you want to have some ADA through the bear market as well, because you're going to be generating that passive yield. And soon you're going to be generating your ADA yield, your midnight yield, like all this stuff. It's just going to keep growing and growing. So you're going to want to make sure you have a part in that. Bitcoin whales are buying at an unprecedented pace, higher prices coming soon. And you can see here, it's getting crazy. No bull market peak indicators have triggered yet, so we still have plenty of time to go. This is all peak. All right, now we're looking at Bitcoin's liquidation heat map right now, and you can just watch the ebb and flow. This is Kayataka. And this is a free liquidation heat map platform that if you're a trader, you're probably already using. And if you're a trader that's not using this, you're insane, because this is so good as a tool. This is amazing. But look at this here. This is crazy. I'm going to pull up my Bitcoins. I don't think this is the wick I'm looking for just yet. But you can see a lot of the liquidity is still down here around the 115,000 range, comes all the way down. The base of this is around 115. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that this is tough. I mean, this is the indecision, right? I mean, it's like, okay, we started pulling up. But if we look at this, there's some liquidity up here, not that much. There's a lot around 117.8. There's some more around 118 and yeah, 118. So we can either go up or we can go down, right? And so what's going to happen here is like this is probably going to get eaten up. 116,487. One of these days, I'm going to do a video explaining exactly how liquidity is established and like what that means as it like when you're trading on it. But it looks we're going to get a fake out in price. This could be it. I doubt it. This is just the liquidity chain, but like basically flowing through the order books and wiping out stops and things. I think we're probably going to fill this soon, this 115 area, because there's just a lot of money sitting here for the market makers. And then from there, there's nothing that says we can't come all the way down here to as low as $110,000. This is still possibly in play, even though there's not that much sitting here. There's some, but there's more here. I mean, there's a lot more money just sitting right here. So I'm going to assume that we may get a fake out to the upside, getting everybody to go long, thinking we're going to get this big bullish pump. Price is going to come back down, and then we're going to fill all this. We're just going to clear all this out like this evening, this weekend, into the Sunday market. We might even come down and hover around here, building liquidity further, just kind of playing chop through the weekend, even though the market makers aren't actively doing any of this until probably Sunday. But then I think we'll get a big drop to the downside here that clears this out, maybe a big wick. And then we might reverse to the upside and start collecting all of this starting into the Monday, Tuesday. So, I don't know. And that's literally just an off the top of my head guess. I'm not 100% sure, but something like that is probably going to be playing out. We can see Bitcoin dominance is slowly working its way back down to its local low. And that's pretty good. We came all the way back up here to around 62.66%, and we're working back down. We're heading into the 60-cent range. And, I would love to see it lower than this. If we can really start breaking down into this area, breaking below this is what's going to help us take Cardano above $1 and stay there. And a lot of the other assets that we hold, this is, this dropping is going to start flowing into a lot more of the altcoins. Now, this is my Cardano chart. And, I have this here. Check the link below for my Flux chart indicators. If you like this is what Flux chart's saying. Okay. This is saying we got a trigger here on this candle, which is it was somewhere in the range of around 75 cents at the time of the trigger. And that we're going to get up to 95 cents. Here's the thing about my Flux charts indicator. These almost always fill. It is almost crazy to me how I don't even know. I actually talked to one of the founders of Flux charts, and I said, dude, how the hell do these triggers hit like they do? Sometimes they don't all hit. Sometimes we only get 2 of them. But generally, especially on like the larger the time frame, generally the more likely these are to hit. We're on a 4-hour candle right now, or 4-hour chart with ADA. And this is basically saying, the first take profits at 83 cents. So this has me kind of excited. The thing is this is a 4-hour candle. This could all start happening next week. Okay. So this is what I'm looking for. This is likely. And the thing is once price breaks into this 89-cent range, we've got to break through a lot of this bearish liquidity, this order book volume. There's a lot of like bears that need to get chewed up and spit out first. Then that'll flip bullish. And then it's like getting the green light to go higher. And then we start breaking back towards $1, hitting 95 cents. I definitely think these are all going to fill. I do think that these take profit points are going to hit. But I don't think this is going to happen over the course of this weekend. What I think could happen, and the reason why I'm going to say what I'm going to say is, even if Bitcoin gets a big drop, let's just say it gets a big drop back down into the low 115 range over the course of the weekend, because it's just cleaning house of all the liquidity down there. Cardano's been holding its own strong. Okay. I mean, Cardano has been holding its own. You can see down here, I was telling everybody a 70-cent range. I was telling my personal friends, I was telling everybody, if we get down into the 70-cent range, that's going to be a really good entry point. Likely for the remainder of this market cycle. This might be the last big dip you get where you can get a strong entry. And sure enough, man, I mean, we hit and we came back. And then you can see here, the price came back down and it just established liquidity down here. And then boom, we got a reversal to the upside and here we are. So, we could get a bit of a pullback, come back down here around the 75 cents and then start kicking it off into 83 cents. We'll see. But ultimately, I think we're going to hit these trigger points. And my Flux charts indicator, I mean, it's, I know a couple of you guys have been grabbing it and have been giving me good feedback on it so far. I definitely like my Flux charts. And I've been trying to get other YouTubers involved. It's so difficult to get some of these guys to pay attention to messages, but I totally get it because everybody gets swarmed with messages all the time and it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. And I always tell people, like, don't get upset with me. I get so many messages. So I have to remember that because I'll send somebody a message and then they'll respond and then I'll send them a reply to what they said. And then they don't see it for a day. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, oh, wait a minute, because I'm in the midst of like 1,000 others, just like everybody else is with mine. So I get it. But anyway, here we are at Bitcoin's price. This is an hour chart. Okay. And I find this to be very telling. Number one, it's hard to see. I want to make it bigger, but I want to get the total picture because this is part of the market maker method. There's a link down below. Folks, I am not an affiliate for Trade Travel Chill. I don't make a dime if you guys join the course and start learning how to trade. I don't make anything. She's even offered it to me. And she's like, listen, I really appreciate you. I love you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, if you here, I can get you set up with an affiliate link, blah. And I said, no, I'm not worried about making money. I just want your knowledge. Like wholeheartedly, man. I just value what she's doing. And I said, no, I don't need an affiliate link. I'm going to promote it anyway. Because she doesn't charge me. And I'm like, that's plenty for me. That's how much I value what I'm learning from her group. And a lot of the price action in the market maker method that I share, it is from Annie. It is from what I'm learning with this market maker group. I saw one comment like, oh, he's just taking Annie's content, making it his own. I'm like, no, it's a system. It's a system that I'm learning. So if I'm saying similar things, it's probably because, now I'm going to tell you, whatever Annie says goes. If I say something similar, there's a good chance Annie is saying something similar, but it's probably much more accurate and much better, okay, because I'm still learning. But it's not that I'm like copying what Annie's doing and then bringing it onto my channel. It's the system that you learn and how to identify key levels, key volume candles, right? So like a part of this and like a part of what you get when you're with her course is the indicator that changes the color of the candles based on volume. These are extremely important to the market maker method. Like down here, I identified a W, which means we're going to get a reversal from this downtrend. And we did. We got that reversal, and this is a first rise. Typically, when you get an M or a W in a chart, you're going to get a 3-rise or 3-day price action, right, from the low. So, and this is all measured by these volume candles, these high volume candles. So you can see we got a first rise level here, our second rise level here, and what could be construed as a third, but I don't necessarily know that this is a third yet. I think a third may be coming. We'll have to see. Okay. I'm really not, I don't know. I want to break above this high of day. I want to break above all this. Right now, we're just kind of teetering on the negative 50% Asia, which this is really, really powerful when it comes to the price action. Okay. Because oftentimes this gets very well respected. And you're going to see this yellow line. This is my VWAP. I love to use the VWAP. I have a book on it. I've been learning how to like use it more and more. I've been getting a lot of books on specific indicators lately, like VWAP, candles, all kinds of stuff. Because even though I've been learning this market maker method from Annie, I am like, and which I cannot say enough. If you want to learn how to trade, you need to go do her course. And I'm only through the first course. She's got several. But I can't sing her praises enough, man. I mean, to me, she's a legendary trader in the works. And not only that, but I've also learned Pedro is sharp as a tack. I struggle with accents. He's got a thick accent. I struggle with accent. My wife makes fun of me all the time because if somebody has an accent, generally I don't know what the hell they're saying. I think a part of it is because I'm half deaf. All the years bouncing in nightclubs and things when I was young. And so like I like hear fragments of a word that's already a little different than normal. So it's just like I have no idea what you're saying. But Pedro's really good. I mean, she has a team of coaches that not only help in the community. I know this is starting to sound like an infomercial, but it's not. I know that there are a lot of you out there that think you can trade. You can't. I'm telling you right now, you're not good. I don't claim to be good. I mean, I've been doing pretty well. And the more I learn, the better I do. A lot of it for me is just learning patience and then getting the system down. But Annie's so good, man. And the people in her coaches and everybody, they post like these daily charts, things to look for, all kinds of stuff in their Discord. I mean, it's just a phenomenal group and you guys really need to be in it. I'm telling you. But anyway, the price definitely respects this 50% Asia line. And I don't know if we break above that. And we got this little wick here, but I don't think this is going to be enough to trap people. I think as we get closer to the end of the day, we're going to see probably some pretty crazy movement. I'm going to assume, let's put it this way. If we're going to probably dump by the end of the day, I suspect the price to rise higher. And then we're going to get like a big wick to the upside, or we might get a big fast candle to the upside that starts inducing people to go long, thinking we're going to go long over the weekend, and then it's going to dump, and then it's going to trap all those people, and then we're going to work our way down into the 115s over the course of the evening and into the weekend. And it's going to trap all of those people, and then it's going to pick them up on Sunday, like late Sunday into the Monday market open, and then we'll break through, we'll get freed. But that's what I expect to see, honestly, because all that liquidity sitting down there it's definitely a thing. Now, so for those of you that know, we just launched the Wargrim trading card game alpha on the Cardano blockchain. And we're about 50 packs minted so far. I've done one video. Like I haven't pushed it substantially yet. We are working out some things right now where I'm trying to figure out I know I can get sponsors and I want to do some things to where, you could, and this isn't in yet, so don't get excited. I don't even know if we can legally do it. That's the problem with it's like you get these ideas and you're like, this would be great for people and it would be great for sales. And then I don't know if that's legal. I would love to have a thing where we have like some hardware wallets and things like that, where maybe you get this card, right? And that card entitles you to a big prize, like a new hardware wallet or something like that. Because I know we can get some of that stuff sponsored. Crypto Chef is working on that. But I know that there's also something to the effect of like, no purchase necessary. Like I have to look up the legalities of that. I'll probably ask Grok 4 here pretty soon. Like, what can we do so that people are getting more than just booster cards and NFTs? You have a chance of winning different prizes and things. How can we do that to make things a little more spicy, a little more fun and exciting for everybody? So we're working on different ideas and things, because this whole mint, this everything we're doing right now is to help us get out of alpha into like beta and potentially like retail launch production quality with the land system, so that you're fighting for land, you're competing, you're generating resources from the land you control. Like this is all a part of it. And so, because I didn't get Project Catalyst, because I didn't get like Cardano treasury funds, we're doing this where the cards that you mint are playable in game right now. You can go to wargrim.io and you can play the game right now for free. You don't have to have these booster cards. You do not have to have these NFTs. You can go, you can click play, wait for somebody else to connect and play multiplayer games for free with the built-in decks that are in there. However, you don't have any of the cards until you buy the NFTs through the minting process. And those cards are going to grow in number. So what you're going to see is you might play a game with somebody where your cards are very limited. You've got these little freebie decks. And then you're going to start noticing people having other cards that you don't have whooping the shit out of you. Because as development continues and we add more cards to the mints, people are going to be able to start minting more cards. I mean, there's a total of like 240 something cards. And we're slowly adding them as we continue with the development side of adding the mechanics and the way those cards interact with everything else, et cetera, et cetera. So that's basically what a lot of this is paying for right now. But yeah, we've got a fully working game. Go check it out, wargrim.io. You might even be playing me over the weekend at some point. And you might be playing Crypto Face. I know he's been messing with it. Eli, my lead dev architect. Who knows who you're going to be playing? And we're working on, I know DZ over at Discovery Crypto. We've been talking about this back and forth for a while. He was actually like a big tournament player for Magic the Gathering, and he's had his eye on Wargrim now. It's probably been a year, and I know he's in the process of checking things out as well. He may be doing some sort of giveaway soon on Discovery Crypto. We'll see. I'm not holding him to anything. It's entirely his choice. We don't have the budget to pay any influencers. So, the influencers that like either value me or like whatever, for whatever reason, if they're wanting to support me in something I actually give a shit about that I've been working on for a long time, you may see some of these influencers who do basically throw me a nod and say, hey, yeah, check out Wargrim. I'm not paying any of them because we don't have the money. We're trying to develop, and you know what I mean? So, if you see anybody talking about Wargrim on their channels, let me know. I would really appreciate it. Just let me know, because I really want to know like who really values what I'm trying to do without being paid to shill it like that. I'm very curious if there are any out there at all, to be honest with you. So anyway, DZ was top 10 in the world. Yeah, I think, DZ was like just badass. Also, I want to share this real quick. For those of you that have been getting the Flux charts indicator, I wanted to point this out. I'm going to be working on content for this at some point, because the Flux charts indicator isn't just what you're getting in like your trading view. It's capable of doing a lot more. And I've been recently seeing a lot of this stuff, like the SFX back tester, just a lot of the functionality that shows you, like, if you were to act on the triggers, this is what your outcomes would be on trades. But not only that, there's a system in here for the SFX toolkit, which is honestly my favorite element of the Flux charts, because that's the one that gives you these buy and sell scalp triggers that gives you the take profits. But there's a way to connect this to automated trading bots so that the trading bots will do it for you, which I find very, very cool. And so the thing is to do it, you have to join, like, I think there's like another website you have to join. And that costs like 20 or 30. Everybody wants to charge you 20, 30 bucks a month. Everything's a monthly sub. And it's just like, I don't know that I want to join all that. Unless there's a lot of demand from you guys that say, yeah, I'll get Flux charts if you teach me some other cool ways to use it, then maybe I will. But like I have to see sales. I have to see that people care about the indicator suite. But if you're curious, you can check it all out yourself, and you can just see like what kinds of things are capable with the indicator suite and how you can utilize it to do a lot of different things. So yeah, I definitely get it. There's a lot more with Flux than meets the eye. So let me go ahead and start checking out comments, because after that blowout technical glitch, I think one of the things that I was commenting on before was like this midnight airdrop, don't click it. And then another article, midnight glacier drop, claim is live. If you go to cryptocro.io, these two write-ups are free. They're not behind paywalls. So it gives you all the information you need to basically claim your midnight if you haven't yet already. Everybody knows hardware wallets are running into issues. There are still issues. Okay. They're working on them. You've got like 2 months to make your claim. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, everybody knows. So I've seen so many people try to do different workarounds, and it's like, listen, that's not how things are being set up. So anyway, let's see. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin looks like it's moving down a little bit here. I just, that's not the trap. I don't think the trap is gonna, I mean, it could be, but I don't think the big Bitcoin weekend trap has happened yet. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I don't think that's it. The flux capacitor indicator. I mean, I really do like my flux because I'm learning a completely different system. I am not, I use my flux charts to basically kind of help me understand like what is likely happening short term next and give me different trigger points and things like that. Or take profit points to just kind of get an idea like what does the AI think is going to happen, because it's basically how it's been explained to me is that like the SFX algo is basically it's an AI automated deep learning machine learning algorithm that ultimately changes over time to give you the best entries and things. And it's pretty powerful, man. It's basically something that I was wanting to create myself a long time ago. And then he was like, no, this is how this works. And I'm like, well, shit, I want to be a part of this. I like this. So, let's see what's going on in chat. Alex, let's say Alex Anderson here for a live. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. If you're still here, I don't know. Ada baking right now, breaking. Yeah, Ada's probably breaking. Let me go to my Ada chart on my end over here. I'm getting all these other things. I mean, Bitcoin's going down. Cardano really hasn't moved yet. I mean, from what I'm seeing, is it any different on my? Nah, I mean, it's at 79 cents. I mean, it's still chilling like a villain. Hosky, yes, Hosky. I like Hosky too. I mean, they're another staple, but I just don't think there's anything bigger than Snek. I mean, let's just be real. I don't know what all they do or how much money they pump into, building their market and their community, but they're solid, man. Wake me up when it breaks previous all-time high. Snek is the only meme. Quantum Hosky. I own quantumhosky.com. So I don't know. Maybe someday somebody will be like, hey, we'll give you $1 million. Give us that domain. I don't know. It's not really why I bought it, but at this point, I'm like, whatever. I guess I have to take whatever I can. Heard Pengu is getting in bed with McDonald's. Could just be noise, though. I feel like a lot of stuff is noise. I don't even know anything about Pengu. I know that Pengu's traded amongst some of the trade travel chill community. They're always talking about it and like sharing insights. I don't know anything about it. I think I traded it once and I lost some money real quick. I'm like, fuck Pengu. But it was my own fault. I just didn't know what I was doing. So now listen, we're not going to start getting into some like community tribalism between Hosky and Snek. You can both coexist. Just grab some Snek on credit card. Okay. Midnight Token was a giant flop, just another shitcoin to dump. That is if you're dumb enough to. Wow. I wonder. So night 7. So I guess there's what, a night 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like how many nights are there? I guess their sole algo is to like go into like, I'm assuming this is a bot, right? With a name like Night 7, whose sole purpose is to try and FUD midnight. It's so funny, man. It just trips me out. Like, and who puts all the resources into this? Why couldn't they do a simple? Okay, you know what? This is funny. Why couldn't they do a simple airdrop for midnight? So basically, what he's asking is, why does midnight? Why are they trying to protect the integrity of the chain? Protect the interest of the overall reason why it's a multi-chain airdrop. Why couldn't they just give the lazy people some tokens in their wallet without having to do anything for it? This is a Solana person. It has to be like, it's either a Solana person or it's like, that's the I'm sorry, but that ecosystem's the only one I can think of that would have a mentality like this. Why can't they just do everything to give me a quick buck before it drops through the floor? That's the thing. The entitlement is like insane. Everybody's so used to getting this instant gratification from these shit coins, and then they get rugged, but it's just like they don't care. They're on to the next one. It's like crack addicts. It's like, I gotta get my fix right now. I gotta get in. I want to get in and get out. And it's crazy. There are so many reasons why the midnight and first of all, the midnight airdrop is not a flop. That's total bullshit. This thing is just blowing up all over the place. And not only that, but like how many people who aren't even Cardano supporters are gaining the benefit of getting free night tokens. And all you have to do is load up a Lace wallet with 0 transactions and make a 30-second claim. Get out of here. Like, this is how you know that some of these people are either just not that bright or they're like overly entitled, or like, I don't know what their deal is, but they're basically getting handouts for nothing. And they're running around the web complaining about it and trying to shit all over it. These people are just out to lunch. That blows my mind. It really does blow my mind. Which is why I believe a lot of them are just algo bots. I mean, it's like my channel, Dan Gambardello, his channel, a lot of them, they're just, the bots are just out in droves, man, trying to like FUD everything. And it's insane. Let's see. I have come to the point of accepting that Cardano will slowly ascend to maybe $5 in 2030. Not a bad thing. Could also mean that it won't crash to 10 cents quickly, just slow. I totally disagree. I totally disagree wholeheartedly. And I've shown on this channel, I don't know if you've been if you're new to this channel or not. I've never seen you before, but like, no offense, just is what it is. But I've shown you this is every cycle. Every cycle, the same thing happens. Cardano generally is a late bloomer. It does a lot of consolidation. It does a lot of buildup. And I've used the analogy of like, pulling an arrow back, and the further back you pull that arrow, and once you let it go, it goes farther. It's basically what happens with Cardano. Cardano rose. And I've done so many charts where I've shown how it's risen just over a period of 90 days. And it's gone up like 600%, even higher than that against Ethereum, mind you. While Ethereum is also climbing. We've seen this so many times. I just think that everybody's expecting it to move the way other assets move, and it just doesn't. It does what it wants when it wants. And yeah, I'm still holding for $8, man. I still think it's very, very likely. And not only that, but I think it could go much higher even in this cycle. I really do. People thought it was insane of me to assume that it was going to even break $1, right? This was the 2021 cycle when ADA was 2 cents, and I was out there telling everybody like, this is a major opportunity. I wish you guys would pay attention. You guys, 2 cents, this is crazy. And everybody's like, oh, it'll never go past $1, Crow. It'll never go past $1. You'll be lucky with 50 cents. Remember all that shit back then? And then it, like, over the course of a few months, it went from 2 cents to, I think 6 months total, but it went from basically like 2 cents to $3.33, right? And all those people are just like, they're all silent and they're all gone, right? And it's just like the most negative, loudest voices are generally the most ignorant. I mean, and I'm not saying that you're ignorant for your $5 assumption. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying that those of us who've been in these cycles for so long, I've been in this since 2017. I've seen this so many times now. And it's like, I just understand what's playing out. A lot of people don't. So, and they don't understand how quickly things move when things really start trucking. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm always right sometimes, as I like to say. Let's see. I feel like there's a lot of bot comments in the chat today. Just a lot of anonymous random names just saying like random shit. Interesting. I don't know. Camera overheated. Oh no, I'm using a little Logi webcam. Like I doubt it overheated on anything. It's sad there is no support for a lot of other wallets. Like, I mean, a lot of the support is coming, folks. A lot of the support is coming. Ava Angel's in the house. Keep breathing, Crow. So we know you're still there. Oh, that's when I conked out. Okay. All right. How many of you, let me know in chat, there's 1,300 of you. Let me know how many of you guys have went ahead and minted some Wargrim NFTs. Like, are you starting to build like a collection to start doing some deck building or what? David Advanced Users could only figure it out. Flux charts. I'm trying to get other influencers on board, man. I'd like to see a lot more folks using the Flux charts. TradeTravelChill.club. I'm telling you guys right now, if you want to learn to trade, you better go over there and start learning. Again, I don't make a dime. I don't make anything. I just value what I'm learning, and I'm very eager to share it with everybody. Let's see. I don't know what's happening. I don't see much. 8 chains, 38 million wallets. Okay, that's impressive. Yeah, I think it's very impressive. We're getting to a point with Cardano that people just can't deny what's happening anymore. I mean, that's basically where we're at. People, even some of the biggest like anti-Cardano people are coming around and they're just starting to say, all right, congrats, ADA folks. Because they see it, they know it. It's like you can't even deny it anymore. You can't deny its momentum. You can't deny its expansiveness. You can't deny anything about Cardano anymore. It hasn't been hacked. It hasn't been shut down. Hydra's kicking it. Lyles has come in. You know, Midnight has just been airdropped. There's just so much, man. I don't know if there's ever been a more complete ecosystem that just continues to expand and grow upon itself. And I feel like even those who are holding other assets are like, congrats. And then they just put their head down and go about their business. It is what it is. You can't shit on ADA anymore with any real sense of like, and anybody take you seriously. Anytime I see it nowadays, I know it's either a paid article of some kind that's promoting the next meme coin on some other chain. Like that's a given. Because I see that every time I go into like Crypto Panic or any news aggregator. It's something that's trying to shit on Cardano just to get its name in the article for search traffic while it's promoting the next shitcoin, meme coin, like Pet Rock on whatever chain, right? I see that constantly. And that's really the bulk of it. And it's just like the communities now, the idea of Midnight is to try and bring a lot of us folks together. And because, I mean, I don't think there's anything out there that's going to be as cross-chain compatible as like Cardano and Midnight. I'm sorry, there just isn't anything. Can you tell me? And tell me in the chat right now, what has more cross-chain compatibility? What has more functionality than Cardano? And like, I just don't think there is anything. That's all it boils down to. And I think everybody kind of knows it now. So, yeah. Let's see. What's this say? Dragon's Den Books. What's up? The education this drop is providing to users of all these chains is an undervalued aspect of the entire process. Sure, this is completely thought through to drive engagement. 100%. 100%. Somebody with books in the title of their username, you know somebody who's thinking. Which that's not very common in crypto. Everybody just wants to be told, go buy this and you'll make money. Very few people like to actually think about what's happening. But yeah, that's very accurate. I'm looking forward to experience the benefit of Midnight and buy more when people who do not understand it start selling. 100% facts. I'm right there with you. I think there are going to be a lot of degens out there that are going to try and sell their first quarter dumps, and I want to be right there to pick them up. I think I want to grow an expansive sum of Midnight, because as the ecosystem continues to grow, these dApps, applications, all these different people are going to need that dust, man. And I want to become like a dust dealer. I might have to create some like AI memes, like, I got what you need. I have a dude with a coat. He's opening it up and it's just little packets called dust. Like, what you need. I'm serious about that though. Like we'll see what happens, but I wouldn't mind picking up a lot more. I'd love to be like a big dust person. I think Chef and Crow should play a live Wargrim match. We probably will. I would be totally down if he is. I don't know if he likes being on camera or anything. I think he just likes being private and he doesn't like being in, I don't know. I feel like I've talked to him about something like that before, because he's also a trader. He does pretty well. He gets some pretty good trades. Tony. For those of you that don't know, Tony's in the Telegram group, and he is a fucking trip, man. Like, reading Tony and the things he says, he's been a part of the Crow community for so long. I love him to death. But you can always count on something probably a little unhinged. Just throw him a random shit comment in to join in on the fun while I listen. Okay, so he's being good. But yeah, it's funny. Him and Chef, there's like a group in the Telegram group that just, they're always chatting and always sharing their thing, but it's always kind of a good time. Oh, hey, Crow. Oh. Do you know the dates on when we will get those night tokens? Thank you, sir. No. It's going to be a while. You've got I think we have at least 3 months until like the thawing starts, and then it's like going to be every quarter. We've got like, I don't know, just say it's probably going to be 3 or 4 months till the first 25%, and it's going to be like every quarter after that, out to be like 360 days. So you're not going to get the last of it for at least basically a year. So it's yeah. The Dust Lord. Yes, I might have to create that as a character or something. I don't know. Should I create a new channel specifically for Midnight in the future, or should I just keep it all on one channel? Just keep it all on this one. It's all part of Cardano. But maybe I could create a new channel, just call it the Dust Lord. Maybe it'll just be AI faceless videos about like Midnight updates by the Dust Lord. Nobody's giving up on anything Cardano. Where are you guys getting all this? A lot of people give up on Cardano price. Do you still think it reached $5 in 2025? Yes, I do. I don't understand where people are getting these narratives from. Like, are you guys watching like Rand Nooner or some bullshit? Like, the guy's fucking out to lunch, man. Like, I don't know where you guys could be getting a lot of this narrative, but it's definitely coming from somebody that's not very honest about what's going on. And likely, let me put it to you this way: before you even tell me, I'm going to assume that wherever you're getting that narrative, like there, Ada shitting the bed, and I'm looking at the chart, hasn't budged, it hasn't moved. People are just saying dumb shit to be dumb, and like it's funny. But I'm going to assume that yes, I am going to be like a vacuum cleaner, just collecting all that dust everywhere. People talking trash about ADA right now, I guarantee you are shilling something else on like a consistent, regular basis. ADA is one of the biggest competitive tokens out there to anything in the market, and everybody knows it. Everybody feels it. People are pushing for their own bullshit shitcoin to like do well. And the reality is that all of them are likely going to do well. When things really start moving, the top 100 assets are probably all going to shoot to the moon. Like, it doesn't matter. All of this tribalism and bullshit, it's just greed talking. And that's one of the problems I've always had. And at some point, like when I start seeing those kinds of comments in the chat, I know who you are. Like I know what you are. You're all, a lot of you guys are algos. And it's just like addressing them feels like I'm yelling at robots that have been programmed to just go after the chat. Just the same way, like when this video's done and the comments are going to be loaded with like, there's going to be like 100 comments about some token nobody's ever heard of. It's all spam bot crap shit. That's all it is. It's all to scam you. That's it. All right, folks, I've been on for an hour. I've 1,400 of you. Hopefully this video finds you well and you have a good weekend. Just know we're going to get some sort of weekend trap happening. Probably I'm going to suggest between like 3 and 5 o'clock today. So just make sure you look for that. Don't get trapped in it. Until next time, crow your coins. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Wargrim.io. Make sure you go mint yourself some NFTs. Thanks.